So like, how would you, what examples, like, how do I know this works? You know, like when you see the kids, cause you said like, you know, you actually said like, we saw this was actually working with our students. How do you know that?
Yeah. Well, I think like on a personal level for them, I knew it was working because the buy-in was there.
Mhm.
The engagement of the students were there. They were excited. They were, collaborating with each other. All those, skills, hard and soft skills that they were doing. And then parents were messaging us and saying like, "Hey, Johnny came home and we're talking about erosion. Like, can you
Right.
tell me, what are we doing in here?" And so that part started to come. And then the testing started to happen and started to
Right.
show our state testing, that we have to do. Our scores were without really teaching to the test or working super hard to make sure that we get, that 80%. It was happening
Right.
just with us doing our job every day. And so I think that kind of was like eye-opening as well for us that what we're doing is working.
And I think too, like the students' conversation in the classroom, just daily, just what teachers would do on a normal occurrence, teacher observation, how students are interacting with one another, how they're interacting with us and the content and the material.
Right.
So yeah.
So this is I think this is a really important point to make. And it's kind of interesting how you went there, right? You said you had kids going home talking to their parents about this stuff, and then they were doing well on your test, right? And like, none of us are like, oh, state testing is the best, right? But it is a reality. And I don't like when people like, yeah, okay, let's get rid of it. I understand that. But I could also say, don't worry about the state test, which is really easy for me to say because I don't deal with them. And then you lose your jobs and then you try to move to Canada, right? Like that's
or Wyoming, I guess. I don't
know. Whatever. But I think part of it too is that we have a bunch of kids who actually have the ability to read, and they're really good on state tests. They just actually end up hating reading because of the way they're taught. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like that's part of the issue is that if you actually kill a kid's level of learning, but they do well on the test, we've done more damage than good. And it's like for our own ego and our own scores that we can show to the public. Whereas if you actually get a kid really to love learning, the test will be fine. That is something that I really believe in.